Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to F1 2019. This is the last career. It's episode 16. This will also be the final episode of this series as we wrap up season number 2. 2 races to go. We're in Brazil and then Abu Dhabi, and that's it. Now, looking at this season, I have had a single DNF. I finished in the back twice. And I managed just 15th once. Otherwise, we have pulled off strong performance in every other race, and only twice otherwise out of the points. So a lot of races in the points, very consistent. At this point, we've had 4 straight races in the points or better, with our career best second place finish. We've done more than Hulkenberg in just two seasons of our career, and that's after starting last in every single race. So it's been a really good season for us, but we're not done yet, and 2 races to go. Now, the big talking point in these last 2 races is not about where I could finish, because I am almost mathematically guaranteed that I will be in 9th place, in sort of a best of the midfield position. And the team is now pretty secure in 5th place. I don't think Renault's going to be able to get enough points to come back and challenge, as we recently moved ahead of them. So with my position secure and the Constructors' Championship already secure, really all that's left is the Drivers' Championship. But the surprising thing is the fact that it's a 1-2 for Mercedes, and that Mercedes has won the Constructors' Championship, all things considered. Looking here at the progress history over Season 2, Mercedes started on top, with Red Bull a clear number 2, Ferrari clearly number 3, but right away from the first race from Australia, McLaren put themselves into the mix, with that top 3 becoming a top 4. Ferrari struggled for a little bit early on this season, but then they've made consistent upgrades from there on out to challenge McLaren for second best. Red Bull has spent the entire second half as the best car on the grid. And Mercedes was overtaken very early and has had just 1 upgrade since France. So I don't know what they've been focusing on, if it's all been reliability or they're saving points for the theoretical 2021 regulation changes, though actually in game we're not seeing any regulation changes for 2021. But Mercedes has dipped all the way to 5th, and we are right on their tail, just about level, with a couple upgrades ready for this race. Racing Point also right there. Williams, Toro Rosso, and the entire grid is closer together heading into this race than it has been in the entirety of this series. It was pretty close in Germany, pretty balanced there, but I think it's even closer now. Looking at that Drivers' Championship, it is Bottas, not Hamilton, leading the way, but Hamilton has been breathing down his neck, closing that gap ever tighter. But 14 points is a lot to overcome for a team that can sniff podiums, but has not been able to sniff victories in quite some time because of the position that the car is in. So Red Bull's been taking a lot of victories of late, but they're too far out of reach to challenge anything, and so it is Bottas looking like he could get his first Drivers' Championship, but Hamilton isn't going to go down without a fight. And that's exactly what we've been seeing here of late. Now, I put a couple new components on the car to take one last grid penalty so I can quickly get through these last 2 races of the season without having to go back in and look.
As surely as the sun rises in the morning, the Brazilian Grand Prix packs out the grandstands and creates incredible drama. Title deciders, heartbreak, triumph, and home glory, Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting.
Ferrari back on top, that's a surprise, especially for this track.
Hamilton, Magnussen, Sergio Perez, and Verstappen, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Giovinazzi, and Valtteri Bottas.
Bottas all the way down in 10th.
Grosjean and Ricciardo, Gasly, Kubica, Daniel Kvyat, and Kimi Räikkönen, Albon, and the Professor. Now it's almost time to lights out.
Okay, well, Bottas could be giving away quite a few points today. And we'll see as we make our way through the grid if we come across Bottas somewhere around 10th place.
Cars ahead braking suddenly into one. We could ruin our race if we hit them. Good luck.
Yes, really got to be careful of that the first few turns, and then the hairpin at turn 4 after that. I think I'll really need to keep an eye out for those here on this first lap. Most races, I've taken a little bit of wing damage on that first lap as I try to make my way through that first 4 or 5 cars at the back of the field so that I have that chance to get into the top 10. We'll see what we can do in this race. Not the easiest one to make passes on at all, so it could be a difficult one to see a top 10 finish on, but let's see what we can do. Penultimate race of the year. Very, very long set of lights on that one, and even though I get a really good start, oh, of course Raikkonen still comes across and hits me. Oh my goodness, Raikkonen. We've touched 3 times. There we go. Squeeze my way into 15th. That was the move I needed. Bumping uglies with the ground on this track. They've got the ride height really low for the generic setup on this one. And we're up to P14 around Gasly. Oh! Too much, and that's Bottas. And that I couldn't recover from it. This is where we make the collision, yes? Okay. So we'll do it coming out of here. Oh, come on. Come on. I'm being ridden off the track by the Haas. That was Grosjean. I clearly had the move done, and here he's just hit me again, but this time it really bothers me that you are 80% of the way around somebody and they're still going to drive right into you. Undercut, undercut. Yeah, switchback worked. And we finish off the move. And that is Bottas only in 11th. That's Russell ahead of him. Back into overtake mode here, but I don't think I'm going to get anything right now. We're going to try on the exit. Whoa! Bottas. Bottas really ran me ragged there, and let's go right back to where we are right here. Oh, he's still on me. Really wide through there. Very late in the braking zone, but make it work. So we're at P11. And hopefully that one flashback is the only one we have to take. But this is such a hard track to make moves on. here. I seem to make the switchback move work, at least so far through 2 laps.
DRS is now enabled and will be available to use when you are within 1 second of the car ahead in the DRS zone.
Wow, 1.12. Bird, give me some racing room. I'm wheel to wheel with you. They still try to squeeze you off even when you're wheel to wheel. But we made it work. Now we're up to P9, and that is my teammate, Kivanazzi, ahead. So we've got at least 1 position to go here. And we've got a run on him. Late braking and elbows out, and we make it work. Double pass. That's one of the first times I've done that in a long time outside of the first lap. Now I'm up to P7, and I don't know how I'm making this work, but it's lap 4. I'm in a good position. Bottas, as far as I know, is out of the points in 12th, unless he's moved ahead.
Sustain this level of damage.
Oh, Verstappen, why did you park the bus? Because Perez made you do it? Likely excuse. Probably a good one. That is my bad. And now I'm suffering from a little bit of understeer. I think I took more damage than I thought there. But that is going to stunt my progress. But here is my best place to make a move. Have a look under braking. Magnussen is going to give me some room to get Perez. Magnussen's not going to get DRS, I don't think. That is for P4. And under braking, I think we're going to just about get it done. We do. A little wide because of the understeer and a good exit speed. A lot of understeer now, but just about making this work. Final lap, P4. Vettel's in 3rd. I have not seen Hamilton, I don't think, unless he was in that triple set of cars that I just went around, which would put Hamilton in 2nd. If I can avoid... Nope. So close to making it just 1 flashback on the day. There we go. This time we make it work. Just the understeer with the damage to the wing. Charles Leclerc takes the win. Lewis Hamilton takes 2nd. That's going to be worth a lot of points, and I think he might be into the championship lead after this race. I get 4th place, worth a ton of points. Only 2 flashbacks and 1 right there at the end on a unforced error, but again, that was the understeer from the lack of downforce after taking the damage on the wing on the previous lap.
It's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium.
And there it is,
taking their
Hamilton,
place on top
second
once
place.
again.
If Bottas missed the
Fine
points,
race
then
today,
yes,
and a
Hamilton
stunning win for Ferrari.
will be in the
And
lead
now let's take a look at the driver's
with
standings.
one race to go.
Hamilton takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship
Oh, he does.
after an excellent result. Some amazing
Then I get
talent out
fourth.
on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to the Professor. They pushed and pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was just a pleasure to watch.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed
3
to
seconds
secure
down of the race winner.
And
Last time I did that, I finished second.
the whole team. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
But I think after what was either a DNF or a 19th last season, fourth was amazing. Only one incident-related flashback. And only one time where I really made any solid contact with the car. So that was a good, clean race on a not the easiest to pass circuit. Teammate gets ninth, so he's steadily getting in the points on a regular basis now that the car has hit that that status where we're up into a comfortable upper midfield. Meanwhile, Bottas only 12th, no points, but Hamilton manages to go second, and with 18 points, that puts him 4 clear of Bottas with just one race to go. Verstappen, Magnussen, Leclerc, Perez, Vettel up to 7th ahead of Sainz as the Ferrari has been much improved recently. And ultimately the quickest car of late. Leclerc only 1 point behind Magnussen, so he could potentially make a move there as well. And I am now just 5 points shy of 100. And with those points, we're now 21 clear of Renault. Renault's not going to get 21 points. Nor am I going to get 224, if I'm doing my math correctly there. So, 5th place secure, 9th place secure, but the championship still up for grabs with 1 to go.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. It was more like Dodgems than Formula One today.
No comment.
Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today?
Power advantage.
Well, thanks anyway.
Stop asking me about collisions, especially on pretty much the cleanest race I've had all season. I don't think I've had a single race all season that had 0 contact. So 2 light touches is pretty dang good.
Excellent result today. Finishes like that will look good on your contract reviews. On to the next one.
880 points, but nothing I do now will get it in time for this race, so we move straight on to that next race. The final race of the season. So again, all eyes will be obviously on my race and try to cut through the field, but we'll be keeping an eye on that matchup between the Mercedes drivers. The Mercedes finally sees an upgrade heading into this final race, so it'll be interesting what happens with that one. Oh, and the Racing Point has overtaken us, so we're down to 6th. Again, no upgrades to be had, so let's get to it. Practice. Qualifying and race, so we'll go straight into that final race. This is a very difficult to pass on circuit, other than a couple places. There's a couple places to get the job done, but when you need to pass 19 cars in 5 laps, a couple places with the right place, right time scenario, both times, each lap, still only is going to get you 10 places. So we're going to need a little bit of a miracle on this one to get where we need to be. And especially if we're going to see the battle between the Mercedes, which I'm going to try to get past them in the cleanest of ways and not affect the race between the two of them. I don't want to decide the title. And I know there's a lot of people out there rooting for Valtteri to get his first championship and not see Hamilton. In this case, it would be winning number 7 because he got number 6 last year, which of course he just got in real life. But yes, this would be championship number 7. So this would tie Schumacher. And it's Hamilton who's come from well behind. I think he was almost 50 points down on Bottas just a handful of races ago. And he has battled back. And not only has he battled back, with 14 points, I thought maybe Bottas had enough, especially with how far down the grid the Mercedes had slipped. So I thought for sure Bottas would just hang on. But now, with this final race, whoa! And look at that. The battle is going to go down to the wire. A 1-2 by Mercedes.
Russell, Hulkenberg, and Antonio Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Albon, Pierre Gasly, and Grosjean, Sainz, Kubica, Max Verstappen. They've taken a grid penalty.
Max all the way down to 17th.
And the professor. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay. Here we go. Final race of the second season of the series, and what looks to be the final race of the series. Views are down. Time for another game to be introduced. But 2 solid seasons here, and definitely showing my worth. Much better performances this year than last. Really figured it out in the end, because the first episodes, first season, oh, what a struggle it was. But we found the balance, we figured it out, and I will absolutely do this series again in F1 2020 using the same settings that I've ended off with after that late season 1 final tweak to the settings. This has been a lot of fun, and I think if I can start with the settings the way they got eventually and start the series right from the beginning when the game first releases, and of course the natural growth of the channel itself between now and the release of F1 2020 next season, I think we'll be in pretty good shape for a series to stick around a lot more than just 2 seasons. But we'll see. With that, let's get into the final race and let's see what happens in that Drivers' Championship while we're at it. Ooh, quick start. Did not expect that. But we're not too bad off. We've got to look to the inside here. It's wide enough. I still get bumped by Stroll. Oh! Well, that was unexpected. Max, why the heck did you just punt your way across the track into me there? Ugh. Again. Come on now. Let's do this. Jeez. Max just does not want to give me any room to race there. Oh. Well, that,
Okay, that's a good start. Keep it up.
no, it's not. I just lost all my wing. We're in P16, yes, but Slight damage on the right, a lot of damage on the left. Wow, the fuel. Where's my extra fuel at? Yeah, see, I can't attack this the way I do normally. I'm gonna be feathering pedal a lot more in this race because of the understeer. Hamilton fastest lap. I'm assuming that, well, of course that means he's in the race lead. Okay, we're still just quick enough. Good exit. Good exit. Come on. We can get a little run. Any warning? No? Okay. So we're still capable of passes, but just barely. I think we are very much down to the level of the cars now. So it's going to be really tough to make moves from here on out. I can get above 13th if I've made that pass, but it's going to be slow going. I think we can get Alvin, but I don't know how much more than that we'll get, especially with the fuel. This fuel situation is, it sucks. Taking a lot of curb to help with the understeer. But we're making it through well. And we've slowly closed in on Alvin. But get through that sequence of corners and he pulls back away a little bit, so.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up.
Okay. If we can get through the hairpin right on Albin, I think we could get it done on the exit. Or can we? We lost a little bit on the exit because of the hairpin, how much downforce is required through there. Around the outside. That's a racing incident. I don't think I would get a penalty for that, especially the way they've been ruling things ever since Vettel whined about Canada and all of his fans whined about Canada, that he got penalized for his crazy move on Hamilton to try to save the lead when he clearly could have and should have lost it there, and could have spent the whole race from that point fighting to get it back, but he had done everything to lose it. And that was a desperate move by a desperate man. And if anyone thinks that it was because he didn't have control of the car, that's BS, because he had total control of the car, but he floored it while he was on the grass to try to regain speed and not lose the position. And that shot him across the track. So, that was a controlled move. No doubt about it. But anyway. Okay, well, we have 12th position. We've gained 2 since we took all that damage, and I don't know how much more we can do. Now that's one curve you don't want to get on, and I did, and I lose the DRS advantage. So let's back off for now, save this for a run on the final lap. There we go. There we go. We close them back down. Here we are. Oh, too early on the braking. Final race, and there's Giovinazzi. Now, what I need here
Final lap of the race.
was not what I was doing there. This is just not the area. Straight coming up. This will be the area to get it.
Antonio is ahead of you. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 4 laps old. Their time last lap was a 1:45.6. You're closing by 0.4 per lap.
I'm that driver in front, as in.
Currently P11, we're currently P11. Antonio ahead. The gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Raikkonen is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 1.7 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Okay, gap to leader, 10.2 seconds. This is your final lap of the race.
That was my look as Giovinazzi and Hülkenberg were battling each other. I tried to go around the outside with late braking, and it did not work out for me. And it looks like I might miss the points here, but it's not over yet. Yep. The lack of downforce at the moment, though, is just killing me. Oh, there we go. We're going to get you. That's P10. Lewis Hamilton, race winner, championship winner. And I do squeeze my way into the top 10.
That's it. What a season. Great work this year. Really great work. It's been
That was a
hard times, but
hard
we've
fought
gone
10th
through.
place. Very hard fought 10th
It's
place.
certainly been an incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the
But
most
in-game,
exciting years of racing in
Hamilton's
history.
done it.
There can only be one champion.
What a great come from behind to take not only this race win,
Drivers' champion.
and not only to take the Drivers' Championship, but his 7th
Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today.
in epic fashion, because he was
Tell me, Alex, how
nearly
did
50
you
points
manage to
behind.
achieve this win?
Well, I honestly
At
feel it was down to the driver and
past
the car.
halfway through the
You can
season.
talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot,
He had to have the
excellent driver
4th best
and
car
that's
and
when you see
win
results like those we witnessed
with the
today.
4th best car to win the championship is insane. That's pretty epic right there. Big celebration here.
So then, it's
All
time
right,
to
let's
see
wrap
how
this puppy up. So
result
Hamilton
affects
actually gets
Drivers'
fastest lap as
Championship.
well.
This also means that there's no catching our leader anymore, and we crown a new World Drivers' Champion. Let's focus on the driver of the day.
Bottas took
Anthony
second.
Davidson. Who do you pick?
I have to give it to the professor. They did a great job at getting the
Ugh.
most out of their tyres without
Give it to
losing
Hamilton,
pace.
huh?
Something that's a very handy
About that
skill
drive from him.
in modern-day Formula One.
It's
And
another
Bottas did all he could. I mean, he took second,
to secure the constructors'
3 seconds behind.
An incredible performance for the whole team. Well, and puts an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Final standings. Hamilton ends up winning by 12 points. What a slim margin that was. And he pulls it off with a huge come from behind. Max almost 100 points down on Bottas. Magnussen in 4th in the Red Bull. Leclerc 5th. Perez 6th in the McLaren. Vettel 7th. Sainz 8th. And then I take best of the rest in 9th. Just missing out on 100 points on the season. 96. I actually had more points than my team had by the end of the season. After starting the season with, oh gosh, who was I with? What, Racing Point? Renault? I switched teams so much it was hard to tell last season. Only one switch this season. I think it was Renault. Hulkenberg 10th. Ricardo moves up to 11th on the last day in the Racing Point. Gasly down to 12th. Raikkonen. Russell with 21 points this season. Great job by the Williams driver there. Giovinazzi, after having no points all season, finally in the last handful of races consistently starts scoring points and gets 8 points on the season. Stroll 7, Albon 3 points, Lando Norris, who I replaced, with 2 points, and then Grosjean, Kvyat, and Kubica go the whole season without scoring any points. Mercedes nearly 700 with the constructors. Red Bull bit shy of 500 in second. Ferrari and McLaren close battle there, but Ferrari do take it in the end. We end up not quite comfortably 5th, but 20 points clear of Renault is comfortable enough. Racing Point 7th, just 8 points behind them. A lot of Renault's points came from me at the start of the season when I was their driver. Haas 32, Williams 21, and Toro Rosso with 3 in last place. So Williams move up from last to 9th this year. But as we wrap this up, that's going to do it. Thanks for tuning in. I really enjoyed this series. If you do want to see more of this, especially if you want to see this again for F1 2020, feel free to leave a comment below, or at least leave a like so that I know that it did, at least even though a small audience, it did reach out to you and that you enjoyed this one. But I'll see you next time. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.